Hello. First, some sad news. There's been a few deaths in the lair. First up, my Liocheles australasiae dwarf wood scorpion. You might remember him from a previous video. It's the tiniest scorpion I'd ever seen. Not sure what happened. It dug a little burrow and just passed away. No idea why. Secondly, Philocrania paradoxa ghost mantis. Again, this one's a bit of a mystery. It molted, grew quite a lot from its previous size after the molt. It ate, and literally the day after I saw it eating, 2 days after it molted, I found it dead. It's very sad. And then on to a couple more which are in the missing presumed dead category. I have my Pterinopelma sazimai tarantula and my Cyriocosmus elegans Trinidad dwarf or love heart bat. Both of these I couldn't find in their enclosures. I couldn't find a body. They were very small, if you remember from a previous video, and looking at the enclosures there is a very small gap where I guess a spider small enough could crawl through. The fruit flies could certainly get through. So maybe I'll find them in the lair one day, but sadly I suspect they died and they were so small I couldn't find the bodies. So very sad about that. So that left a few empty enclosures in my spider room. So I thought about buying some replacements. First up from the spider shop was Dolomedes. I'm going to try and say this properly. Okefinokensis, which is an okefinoke fishing spider. Quite interesting because they sit by water's edge and look for either fish under the surface, small fish, or insects that have fallen in the water and can't get out. Sadly, this little fella didn't survive the journey, so I sent off a couple of photos to the spider shop and they, without any fuss at all, sent out a replacement. So the replacements arrived and it looks a little happier than it did, the last one did. Trying to figure out how to get it out. These tend to be quite fast, as I seem to have read. Yeah, like it's going to just jump out on its own. Nice try. That was easy. Pulled the tissue out a little bit and it decided to jump all by itself. And it's yeah, it's alive, which is a big relief. Next up, I thought I'd order some replacements for some of the spiders that went missing, and a couple of new ones from spidersworld.eu. I've not used them before and I've been looking for a reason to try them out, and so that's what this package is. One thing I've noticed is that no matter who you buy from, the spiders you get are generally a lot smaller than you expect them to be. Now this is partly because suppliers measure them based on the leg span, which is, when you look at a spider you notice the body size, not the leg size, so they look smaller than you expect them to be. Also, sadly, some suppliers also over-egg the size of their spiders, and looking at the size of some of these vials, I'm expecting that to be the case here. It takes me a while to get through these, so I'll leave it on just over double speed. So this is Pterinopelma sazimai tarantula. It's replacing one of the ones which were missing, presumed dead. And it's supposed to be a centimetre. Let's have a look. It's not looking promising at the moment, and particularly with my big hands, this is really difficult to get into. Trying desperately not to squash the spider. Can see it, but certainly making it hard to get to it. I'll do some close-ups afterwards. Next up is another replacement for the Cyriocosmus elegans. This is supposed to be a half a centimetre, so if you saw the size of that last one, this one's expected to be even smaller and even harder to get into. This tissue paper's dried out quite a bit. Oops, yes, so that's apparently that's half a centimetre. So next up is a new one for me. It's Eresus walckenaeri, which is a ladybird spider. This one's orange ring. So some ladybird spiders are red with black dots on them, which is obviously how they get their name. This one's, when it grows up, should have an orange ring on its back. Again, very fiddly to get out of its wrapping, desperately trying not to squash it. And there we see another half a centimetre spider. Not sure what ruler they're using to measure these. Finally, another one. I've kept these before, but I haven't got one in my collection at the moment. It's Psalmopoeus irminia, which is a Venezuelan sun tiger. This should be a bit bigger than the others, so hopefully big enough for that enclosure, and yes, it is. Won't have to put it in a film canister. Let's quickly set up the enclosure with some substrate. The tissue's embedded quite far down in the vial. It's quite hard to get it out without damaging the spider. Let's try and have a go at it from another angle. Get the catch cup ready. I know from experience these can be fast. Oh, and there it goes. how inconsiderate of it to run off camera, so I couldn't capture it on camera. It took a while to capture it, all off camera, including running up my arm at one point, but as you can see I managed to get it in the enclosure eventually. So let's look at some close-ups. This is my Pterinopelma sazimai, centimetre maybe, not far off I guess. This is my Cyriocosmus elegans, half centimetre, doubtful. Not sure if that's going to eat my fruit flies, but give it a go. And also doubtful in size wise, my half centimetre Eresus walckenaeri. It's a bit out of focus, sorry about that. If I pull out a bit, it might sharpen it up a little. And finally, my Psalmopoeus irminia. I say and finally, but there is one more unboxing to go. Thanks for sticking with the video if you've watched it all the way through so far. As I mentioned earlier, my little Liocheles australasiae passed away. So I thought I saw one on Bugs UK, which was appeared to be a bit bigger, or quite a lot bigger than that tiny little one that I had. So I ordered it, and here's the unboxing for that. It is a case of pass the parcel at the moment. It's ever decreasing sizes of container. That's not in focus at all. This is a much better size than the previous one I had. Can't see it glowing under the light. Let's dim the light a bit. Much more manageable size. Hopefully get a close up, and that one will survive better than the tiny one I had before. Well, thanks for sticking with this rather lengthy unboxing video, yet another unboxing video. I'll try to do some more videos in future showing feeding and general care of individual animals. If you liked it, please click the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.